Hi, welcome to my channel, Crazy Gma. Um, the name is kind of special. This is because I am, in fact, a grandma, not only a grandma, but I'm also a great grandma. And my family think I'm crazy because I'm awake and they are still in the Matrix. So I hope that you find the humor in the name of my channel. The second thing that I would like to talk about today is religion. Uh, there is a lot of cognitive dissonance where religion is concerned. Religion is a very touchy subject. People who are very strong in their religions absolutely will not listen to any other truth. They won't listen to anything that goes against their religion, and it's a really tough subject to work with. I can tell you that I grew up in a Lutheran Christian, which would be, I guess, the Protestant branch of Christianity. I took my faith very seriously. I was probably the only serious confirmation student in my particular group of students. I believed in it wholeheartedly. I felt that Jesus walked with me every day. I spent many, many hours at the church volunteering for many, many things. I started Bible studies at a very young teenage age. I had a lot of Bible studies I was involved in, um, from the Old Testament all the way through the New Testament. Um, the Romans was particularly hard for me because that was when I was in my 20s and I was divorced, and Paul paints such a evil picture of women that I was sure I was going to go to hell. In any case, I started questioning things in my Bible studies. I was like, well, this doesn't make sense. This isn't logical. Uh, why does it say one thing here and then say another thing there? I began to realize that the God of the Old Testament is not the same God of the New Testament that Jesus talks about. And I began to see many false doctrines that just gave me um, bad feelings and not being able to understand why they were the way they were. So I started doing some searching. I first took Bible studies in different Christian religions, different Christian fractions, such as Jehovah Witnesses, Seventh Day Adventists, so forth and so on. And I became more and more increasingly um, displeased with the Christian religion altogether. So then I got the idea that, maybe each religion has got just a sliver of truth wrapped around a bunch of false doctrine. So then I started studying Judaism. Uh, and I also, I even checked into the Muslim faith. Then I became disenchanted with all the Abrahamic religions, period, and started getting into checking out Buddhism, Hinduism, some of the other Eastern things, and came to the conclusion at that point that there was no religion that was right on. I was searching for the one, what I thought would be the one true religion that I could believe in, that I could belong to. Well, I came to the conclusion that there aren't any of them worth my time. So that was the start of my awakening to religions. I have garnered hours and hours and hours and hours of study to come to this conclusion. I not only had a bunch of Bible studies from the Bible itself, I also studied the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Nag Hanami. I can't pronounce that right. I apologize. Then I started reading the Vedic texts of Hinduism. I read everything about Buddhism. I even got into the Quran, And then I started finding other things that I could study, like the Urantia papers, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Uh, these really opened my eyes. Sitchin's work on the Anunnaki. I would like to think that I am very well versed. I have read many, many, many things. And there for a while, I was even into Scientology, the work of, I forget his name, but uh, he started the Scientology Foundation. I read his book as well. So after discovering all these things, reading, researching, I finally, all of a sudden, one day just was woken up. And I realized that none of these religions are true. None of them are something that should be followed. They are nothing more than a control matrix to enslave you, to make you be a slave, to make you feel guilty. What is this whole concept of original sin? Seriously? How can I be born in creation to original sin? How can I be born a sinner? Really? Seriously? I did nothing wrong up until that point, right? And why is it all about blood sacrifice? It's always about blood. Blood. The Muslims kill the infidels. Um, Blood sacrifice of Christians. And if you think the Christians don't have blood sacrifice, think again. Think about the Spanish Inquisitions. Think about the Eucharist, where you drink the blood and eat the body. Seriously. Why is it always about shedding blood? Why? What creation, what God of creation would request that you have to sacrifice your life? That makes no sense. He created you. Why would he want you to sacrifice yourself? These gods of these religions are not true gods. That's the one thing you need to understand. And I know that's going to be hard because of cognitive dissonance, but they are nothing more than some alien creatures that were here a long time ago that said, you should worship me. Even Jehovah of the Old Testament said, I am a jealous God. You should have no other gods before me. Why would the Creator need to even say that? Okay? I absolutely believe that there is a Creator. Yes. There is a higher power. Yes. She did bring creation into existence so incredibly long time ago that there is not a creature in the universe that probably remembers when. Okay? He did create many, many, many different creatures in different densities, in different realities. We are but just one aspect. And for us to be so arrogant as to think that there is no other life out there is absolutely preposterous. It is. I'm sorry to say. So the second thing I would think that you need to do to wake up and to get out of the matrix is to get out of your religion. I don't care what religion it is. I don't care if it's Christian, if it's Muslim, if it's Buddhist, if it's Hinduism, if it's Judaism, no matter what the religion is. You need to put it aside. You need to realize that the God that you're worshiping is not the true God. The true God, the one, the only. And yes, I have also done research into the law of one, and I am Ra. Okay? So, in any case, the one true religion is no religion at all. You need to realize that you yourself are sovereign. You yourself are a part of God. You were created by a spark of God. You were created as a spark of the divine. That means that as a spark, of the divine, you are yourself divine. So, until you can wrestle with that, until you can free your mind of the cognitive dissonance of religion, until you can admit that you are a part of God, until you can admit that you yourself are powerful, that you do not need to worship anything, you do not need to adhere to any of the guilt or the sin that they tried to put on you, you will not be free. It's that simple. There is no right and there is no wrong. There is no black and there is no white. I know that is a hard concept because this particular 3D density is all about opposites. Good, bad, black, white. But that is not the case in true reality, in true creation. In all of creation, there are both. And the reason for this is because you don't know what a good sunny day is like if you haven't also experienced a cloudy rainy day. You can't know what happiness is like if you haven't experienced sorrow. The whole reason we are here in this muck and mire is that, first of all, we decided to come here, unless, of course, you're just someone who's been reincarnating over and over and over and over. But we decided to come here as a classroom experience. Okay? We're here to learn. We're here to understand. We're here to process and take this information back to the Creator. Okay? He, the Creator, experiences through us. And I hate to call him a he, or she for that matter, because I don't think you can actually classify the Creator as either or. So form your own path, form your own ideas, get out of the religious ones, because that's designed to do nothing but make you feel guilty and keep you enslaved. Once you start thinking for yourself, you start questioning for yourself, like I said in the last video. Number 1 step, start questioning everything, take your blinders off. Number 2 step, get out of your religion. And I know that that's a lot to ask for. If you have already gotten delusioned with religion and you already no longer believe in any of it, good for you. You are well on your way. If you haven't, then give it some serious thought. I can't force you to. This is going to be your decision. Every soul needs to find their own path. My goal is to bring divine light and divine love into my existence and radiate it out to everyone around me. That's my goal, to spread as much help as I can in that department. So with peace and love, I come to you. And I hope that you will keep watching, that you will subscribe, and that we will go down the rabbit hole together. And if you don't, that's okay. You can unsubscribe or don't subscribe or don't ever look at any of my videos again. That's okay. It's good either way. All peace and love. Thanks.